We are back for another episode of Food for Dudes. But wait, where's Daryl? Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, tips for all shades of mom life. And in today's video, we are back to sharing another episode of Food for Dudes. I know it's a little weird, right? Hubby's not standing behind me. I just wanted to take a minute to say something quick about him, and he gets shy super easy, so I didn't think he would actually let me say what I wanted to say with him standing right beside me. But I am really proud of him, you guys, because he took the reins this time completely by himself. So if you guys are new here, my husband and I like to share a segment, cooking recipes out of this book. This book is called Food for Dudes, and it is a book I found at the Dollar Tree. So when I found it and I showed it to my husband, he said he would be totally down with sharing segments with me, cooking recipes out of this book on my channel. Him and I both love to cook. We met in the restaurant business, so we both have a passion for food. So he was kind of excited about doing these kinds of recipes with me. He knew that he would be able to integrate his own like he has in the past before. A couple of months ago, we cooked their Chipotle chicken sandwich, but he shared his grilled chicken recipe. Or sometimes we'll do it like we did last month, where he cooked the main course and I cooked the side dish, and we were able to do it together, which is something really fun that we enjoy. But this time, you guys, life is just so crazy. With us moving the house around and preparing for homeschooling, I just didn't have time to stand beside him and film it. Usually I'm the cameraman, he writes it, he voices it over, but I'm usually the one that goes ahead and films it and edits it. But I just didn't have the time this time. So I told him, if you want to share this, you're gonna have to take the camera on and do it yourself. And he did this entire thing from soup to nuts. He did it himself. He wrote everything he wanted to say, he voiced it over, he did the whole cameraman bit, and I helped him edit. I haven't quite got to that point of teaching him that yet, but I did that part. But otherwise, he did everything else, and I just think that that's really awesome. This is not his thing, yet he is still stepping out of his comfort zone, and it feels really good to share this part of my job with him. When he comes home and talks work with me, I can totally chime in, because again, we met in the restaurant business. That's still where he's working and currently working out in the restaurant field, so we can talk shop all day long, but it's hard sometimes to talk on my level with him about what we're doing here. So I was really excited to see that he was able to kind of, like I said, step out of his comfort zone and do something all by himself that he's never done before. So I didn't think he would let me say that with him right here. So I'm gonna go get the man of the hour and introduce him, and then we're gonna get down to cooking a Foods for Dudes recipe and one of Daryl's. All right, you guys, I grabbed him. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera over to the man.
Hey guys, if you're new to the crew, I'm Daryl, and this is Food for Dudes, and we're going to go down and look at two different recipes that are kind of the same, but yet different. Hello dudes and dudettes. For today's Food for Dudes, we are pulling double duty. First, we have our Food for Dudes Meaty chili dogs. Here is the recipe in case you want to follow along. I have my ingredients already laid out. The beef and sausage are in one container, and I pre-chopped her veggies and garlic. The celery and peppers are easy, but I have a trick for the onions. Cut in half, slice the onion in rows, but only 3/4 of the way through. This gives a piece to hold it together. Then once sideways 3/4 of the way as well. Continue chopping as normal, and that will give you perfectly diced pieces. We also need beans, tomato juice, diced tomatoes, chili powder, sugar, and a cup of water. Now that's it, guys. Very simple recipe. Now let's get to cooking. Over a medium-high heat, start to brown your beef and sausage. My wife would have preferred to use the meat masher, but I'm a spatula kind of guy. Add your vegetables and cook until brown and the onions are soft. Alright, after your meat is brown and your vegetables are translucent, it is time to start adding the rest of our ingredients. Time to add your tomatoes and tomato juice, your beans, your chili powder, a cup of water, and your sugar.
You know I'll read it. Don't make me.
Then bring it to a boil. Then reduce your heat and turn to a simmer for 30 minutes, stirring occasionally. While that is simmering, I will share my personal recipe passed down to me by a close friend. This is Michigan sauce. It's found mainly in the Adirondack Mountains of New York State, where I'm from. When my wife first mentioned that we would be cooking these recipes, she received a few comments. One of them saying that it was similar to Detroit Coney sauce. That seemed to pique our interest, so we did some research. It appears that a couple from Michigan relocated to Plattsburgh, New York in 1927, where they opened up this hot dog stand. They served a hot dog topping that they called Michigan sauce. Funny thing is that I ate there as a child and even brought my wife to it when we visited. I never knew the backstory to the sauce until now. Thanks, Robin. My recipe card is for 5 pounds of meat, so it says spoon meaning tablespoon, but we had to cut it back for 1 pound of meat, so we used a teaspoon instead. You need tomato paste, mustard powder, chili powder, Frank's Red Hot, white pepper, and cumin. The tomato paste I prefer is called Bonta, but any kind will do. It's been so long since I've made this, my wife is in the corner drooling waiting for me to finish cooking it. Cook your ground beef almost all the way, lower your heat, and add your mustard powder, chili powder, cumin, and white pepper. Now incorporate your spices evenly into the meat. Add your tomato paste and hot sauce and mix well, and you're all ready to go. And as you can see by the little piece I'm scooping up, my wife couldn't handle it anymore and she needed to taste it now. You can use any hot dog, but I strongly suggest that you look into Glacier hot dogs. They are noticeable by the bright red, all-natural casing that gives a telltale snap when you bite into it. They are only made in upstate New York, but I believe you can have them shipped. I'll have my wife leave their website linked in the description box below. Kids love my Michigan sauce because of the strong flavor, but no pieces of onions or peppers, and the bun doesn't get soggy. The chili dog was pretty good, but the beauty of the Michigan sauce is how simple it is. If anyone tries it, please leave a comment on what you think.
Alright you guys, so that's it for another Food for Dudes. Again, I want to personally thank Robin because this opened up a whole can of worms for my husband and I to do a whole bunch of research. I really enjoyed knowing that this actually came from a place we've eaten at. Daryl was super excited when we went to visit his family and he gave me a tour of Plattsburgh that he brought me to the spot where he always ate as a child. And I really enjoyed their sauce, and that's why I love when he cooks it. But I think that's because something is truly to be said about this kind of sauce. I've liked some of the recipes from Food for Dudes, not all of them, but we're reviewing this cookbook. We're cooking all the recipes as they're laid out in the book, and we're giving our honest opinions on whether or not we liked it or we didn't. The chili itself, I have to say, was a tad bit bland, and I don't know about you guys, but if you like chili on a hot dog, it's more like the Michigan style sauce that Daryl has on his hot dog. That chili has beans and diced tomatoes in it, and it's good in a bowl with chips and cheese and sour cream. That's personally how I like my chili, but it felt a bit weird on the hot dog. If you were to go to Wendy's and buy chili, the cookout place that we used to eat at all the time in Carolina, they had chili for their hot dogs, and it was more that meaty and sauce-based chili. No tomatoes, no beans. Again, that's the kind of chili I like in a bowl, not necessarily on a hot dog. So I really wouldn't have recommended their recipe so much. If you want a really delicious meaty topper for a hot dog, I personally recommend his sauce. like my hubby said, if you choose to cook this recipe, please come back and comment down below. Let us know what you think of it. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up so Daryl knows to keep sharing them. Again, kudos to him for taking the reins completely by himself, with the exception of editing for the first time. So I was really proud of him. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you are new. We love you all so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.